telling you guys, it was frustrating as hell. What is up guys, welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Rafiq. I know it has been a very long time, but I've been pretty busy, and there are quite a few updates. By looking at the thumbnail and the title of this video, you might have already figured it out what this video is going to be about. This happened like in the month of February, like 2nd or 3rd February, I don't remember exactly the date, but yes, it has been around 3 to 4 months. So let me just give you a brief idea in this next clip. ఎక్కడ చూస్తున్నావురా? ఎక్కడ చూస్తున్నావు? అసలు ఎక్కడ మాత్రం సారీ how I crashed my Dominar and how it happened, and what damages my beast took, and what I needed to change. So I was planning to ride to Lambasingi in the month of February, on 6th of February to be precise. I had planned everything, I had booked my stay and everything was in place. But I went to my uncle's place for the weekend, and while returning I was discussing these things on the video. Like you can see, you can barely hear me speaking anything because there was a lot of wind blast, so my mic, which was in my helmet, was not capturing the audio very well. But you can make it right. You can hear me mumbling something. So I was explaining what I was planning and how I was going to ride to Lambasingi, what I had planned for it, where I would be staying, where I would be taking a halt, say all these kind of details. I won't say that I was not at all at fault. I was riding at a good speed, around 30 to 40 kilometers per hour, but that was quite normal in that area, on that road at that time. And this incident which you just saw, it happened at the Narayangooda flyover in Hyderabad. If you are from Hyderabad, you will be pretty aware of that. So I was riding and I was discussing, I was giving you the details. I mean, if that video had come out good, if the audio was good, then I would have played the video until the end. But since the audio is not clear, so I'll have to just leave it at that. So I was giving all the details, but all of a sudden this guy, like you see in the video, came out of nowhere. It was not his turn to move. It was my turn. The signal was green for me, not for him. He jumped the signal and came in my way. Pretty interesting fact is there was not much of a damage to my bike, if you know what I mean. I know there was some damage and I had to spend money, I had to use my insurance, but still it was not a great damage. It was not like mind-boggling, because if you see the video, I ran into him pretty hard. I was, like I said, around 40 to 50 kilometers per hour speed, and I ran into him and he fell over. He fell to the left side because I was coming from the right side in his perspective, and he was crossing my path. So I hit him from the right side and he fell down. His bike fell down, he fell down, and I hit his rims. If you see, I hit his front tire. So when I played the video back, and I was pretty good. I just picked the bike. I did not scold him, I did not abuse him, or did not demand any money from him, because I had insurance. I knew I can claim it, though I have to pay an additional amount, and even I would not get the no claim bonus for the next year. When I renew the insurance, then I would not get that no claim bonus. But still, I was pretty good. I was fine. I didn't had any grudge over him, and I didn't had any. Yes, I was angry because he came out of nowhere, but still I was okay, so I let him go. There was nothing much I could have done because his bike was also new. You see, he didn't even have any number plates or the plastic cover that the bike has when it's new. It was still on for his bike, so it was pretty evident that it was a new bike, and I didn't want to bother him demanding money because it's not ethical. I could have filed a complaint and let his insurance provider pay for the damage, but still, that didn't matter to me at that point of time because I won't say I was frustrated. I was angry, of course, but I didn't want to make a scene out of it. I didn't want to abuse him or anything. If you can see in the video, I never abused him. I didn't even scold him, dude. So yes, that was pretty much it. Now let me just show you how much it costed me to change everything in my bike. I have the invoice for all the repairs that were done to my bike, and I will also tell you how the Bajaj showroom that I gave the bike to repairs treated my bike and treated me, and how they treat their customers. That was pathetic, but I'll get to it in the later part of the video. But for starters, let me just give you a brief idea what all got changed and what were the damages to my bike and how much it costed me and how much I got covered by the insurance. So let me just get started with the first thing. So it's the belly pan first thing that's in the list, and that's one quantity. For each one of it costed around 384.38 rupees, and the taxable amount is 384.38, and after the taxes it came around to 492 rupees. So the next part I got changed was the handlebar. He pretty much clearly told me that the handlebar is gone case, so I needed to change that one as well. And the handlebar costs around 600 rupees without the taxes, and the taxes are 83.89 rupees each, and the total amount comes to 767 rupees. And the next thing that I got changed, the little weights that get attached to the ends of the handlebars on both sides, that's what the handlebar weights are, and each one costed me around 75.78 rupees, and after the taxes it came around to 97 rupees. The left side one was good, only the right side one was damaged because the bike fell to the right side when I got down from the bike. I couldn't have done anything about that, dude. It was on his front wheel, so it was pretty hard to reach the ground when you are in that position. So yes, the bike fell down onto the right, but there was nothing much of a damage. So only one of the handlebar weights got changed, and it costed me around 97 rupees. And the next thing is the disc brake. Yes, you heard me right. What happened was when I hit his bike's front fork hit my bike's front fork, and everything got pushed to the right side. The major damage was done only to my disc brake. Thankfully, the rim was not damaged at all. That was a good sign. So I had to change the disc brake because it was damaged. The technician said it's totally bent. So even though I changed it, I got the old one as well to just check where exactly it's bent, because I was not sure about that service center. Like I said, I'll let you know what the service center's name is at the end of the video and why I think so. The disc brake before the taxes it's 1750.78 rupees, and after the taxes it comes to 2241 rupees. The next thing is the shield muffler. So that was also damaged, and it costed me 306.25 rupees, and after taxes it comes to around 392 rupees. Then I had this leg guard changed. The right side one, it was damaged as well. I could have left with it, I could have left it without changing because it was just minor scuffs. But I thought when I'm doing this, why not just go ahead and change everything whichever was damaged. The leg guard costed me 140.62 rupees before taxes, and after taxes it comes to around 180 rupees. And then I got the bike's brake lever changed, the right side one. Like I said, and like you know, it fell to the right side, so it was damaged. and it was 140.62 rupees before taxes, and after taxes it comes to 207 rupees. Thing that I got changed is the silencer's mask. If you look closely at a Dominar silencer, you have a mask, something like a protective cover to prevent damages to the silencer itself. So I got that changed as well because it also had some scuff marks, and so that costed me 175.78 rupees before taxes, and after taxes it comes to around 225 rupees. After that I have changed the front fender. Now this is the most frustrating part of this entire repairing process. I'll get to it in the later part of the video at the end. Let me just give you how much it costed me. So the front fender, mine was a green one, costed me at around 1265.62 rupees prior to taxes, and after taxes it's 1620 rupees. Now these were the parts that got changed in the Dominar. Now let me just tell you how much it costed me in the labor charges area. So they had two different rows for labor charge. So labor for replaced parts, some random numbers, they charged me just 0.01 rupees prior to tax, and even after tax it was 0.01. I didn't understand what exactly this was, but right below it I see accidental repair and total labor charges. The rate was at 23.95 per unit. They mention it as 54 units. I don't exactly know how they calculate these units. If you do, please let me know in the comments. Please enlighten me. And this was 1293.30 rupees prior to taxes, and after taxes it comes to around 1526 rupees. This was what they charged me for labor. And the next thing that was not changed but had to be repaired was the front fork, the right side fork. After the accident I didn't call any insurance provider or didn't call any towing service to tow the bike to a service center. I rode it back home. So I noticed it, the fork was bent, the front fork. The bike was, like I said, tilting towards the right side, and so the service costed me 450 rupees before taxes, and after taxes it came to around 531 rupees. So the total labor charges were 2057 rupees in total after taxes, and the cost to change the parts was 6221 rupees. Now you know pretty much how much it costed me. Now let me tell you how much I had to pay and how much the insurance provider gave me back. Now let me just tell you about the insurance process that I had to go through. I had this Bharti AXA general insurance for my bike, and it was around 28,000 when I purchased. If you are not aware of this already, if you haven't watched my previous videos, when I was buying the bike I had bought two different insurances by mistake. I bought two different insurance by mistake, but I got the money back from the Bajaj dealership when I told them that I had already bought the insurance from a different insurance provider. So I had this Bharti AXA general insurance for my bike, and the claim process was pretty much simple. I just had to drop the bike. I gave them a call. I told them everything, what happened, how it happened. I registered a claim. They gave me a claim number. I filled out an application, a form basically in the service center itself. This service center had all the forms from all the insurance providers, so they had everything. They printed a form and I just filled it out. So this Bharti AXA insurance, they didn't have any cashless claim process, so I had to go through the reimbursement process. So I paid all the money up front. You already know it's 2057 for labor charges and 6221 for the parts. So the total bill comes to around 6,000, 2,000, 8,000, 8,300. Out of that 8,200 change, I got 5,804 rupees back from the insurance because of the reimbursement, and the rest of the money I had to pay it out of my pocket, somewhere around 3,000 I guess. Now if you notice, the bill was for the parts, it was 6,221 rupees and I got 5,804 rupees. So like almost 90% of my money was back. 90%, right? 600, 2000, 6200 minus, yep, around 90% you can take it. So this is pretty good when compared to other insurance providers. This is pretty good, believe me. The process is also simple. They respond in a timely manner. They don't keep their customers waiting. Everything was like buttery smooth, and it was quick, but not entirely quick, because the problem was with the service center. Now let me just tell you which service center I had been to. I mean, in which service center I gave my bike for servicing. So it was this Abhinandan Bajaj service center in Toli Chowki. If you just Google it or search it in maps, you will find it. So it's Abhinandan Bajaj, Abhinandan Bajaj. This was the service center I gave my bike for servicing to. Now I had problems with this service center prior as well, before even giving my bike for the repairs. I'm telling you guys, it was frustrating as hell. The service center was so bad. I can call it even the worst one that I had been to in my entire life, in my entire ownership of different vehicles. Just not Bajaj vehicles, the Yamaha vehicles I had owned, the Honda vehicles I had owned. Out of all of these, this was the worst one. A little backstory before I jump into this. Dominar was released in 2017, right? So I wanted to buy one in 2018. So I wanted to have a test ride first before deciding to buy one. You would do the same, if I'm not wrong, right? So I went to this Abhinandan Bajaj service center in Toli Chowki area. If you just Google it, you will find the details and the address as well with the phone numbers. So I went there. I asked them for a test ride. They said they didn't had any vehicles at that point of time. I said okay. It was a pretty new bike. 2018 model was just released back then when I went for a test ride. So I thought they had not got any of them for test rides. So I went back after a month. I hadn't touched anything. I hadn't called them or anything. But I went back directly to check if they could provide any vehicle for test ride. I went there and they straight away denied giving any test rides. Yeah, that's frustrating. Of course, that's frustrating. How are you supposed to buy something, spend as much as 2 lakh rupees on a piece of equipment that you can't try first before you buy? What if you don't like it? What if it's not suitable for you? What if the height is not suitable for you? What if the speed is not suitable for you? What if you don't have any comfort? What if? Every time I went there, they just denied straight away, straight to the face. They just denied. They didn't want to provide any test drives. I then went on buying this in 2019. You can watch my previous videos of me buying the vehicle, my experiences and my first thoughts. Fast forward to Jan 2020. There was a new ECU update that I wanted to be installed on my bike. I called them up. I inquired if they could give me any appointment to get it installed on my bike, but straight away they said they didn't have any. I mean, dude, Bajaj is providing it free of cost. Why can't you just install it? I called up the Bajaj customer care, the head office. I told them what has been happening. I told them the name of the service center, Abhinandan Bajaj, Abhinandan, Abhinandan Bajaj in Toli Chowki, and I mentioned everything that they told me and what experience I had with them. Within a day, I remember someone from the Bajaj service center called me from the same service center. His name was Amir. He was the service manager over there. So he called me. I was a bit busy. Then I called him back, but he never answered it. So I again called the Bajaj care, and so I got a call from the head of the dealership. I don't exactly remember his name. I think it's Vinod. He explained what all has to be updated, what the updates are, and who the updates are for and why I should not opt for it. But still, dude, when someone asks you something, you are obliged or you are supposed to provide it. When Bajaj itself is letting you know, when Bajaj itself tells you to do so, please remember this. From the next time, whenever a customer calls, please treat them in a nicer way. They never got the ECU update installed on my bike. I was so much frustrated, guys. I didn't know where to shout. Setting this aside, I just wanted my parts to be changed. I just wanted my bike to be repaired. I didn't want any ECU updates from them. I could have gone with some other dealership for that. Now comes the part why I was very angry about the fender. When I inquired with the parts guy in the service center, he told me pretty much that the front fender was going to be late. I understood that, I accepted that, and I said okay, let me know when it's done. The bike sat there idle without any changes, without any repairs for almost 3 weeks. I went to the service center thrice. In this time I called them up a lot of times, but no one really answers them. The service center staff so reckless. They don't care about the customers. Nothing bothers them. Even if the customer is coming to them again and again, they just stall it. They just don't respond. Even if you go to the service center, you just take your bike, go to the service center and try to speak to someone clearly what your problem is. I bet you they won't listen to you in the first go, not even in the third go, I bet. So I went there thrice. I called them, no one responds. The customer service there is pathetic. This is what I can tell you about the service center. And coming to this issue with the part, the front fender, it took 3 weeks, but let me tell you how I got it to be replaced at last. So these guys were not at all doing anything. They were just sitting there. Every time I went, they would just tell me that it is in back order. There was no production happening in the Bajaj manufacturing plant itself. I didn't know what to say to that. I told them to check with any other Bajaj service centers or Bajaj dealerships that were in the vicinity or in the same city. These guys just denied having the front fender in any of the Bajaj dealerships in the whole city. I got pretty much frustrated after 3 weeks, guys. To be frank, I was pissed at them. So I gave a call again to the Bajaj customer care. I told them everything that was happening. Then I got a call from Vinod from Abhinandan Bajaj. I remember his name. Yes, it was Vinod. So I got a call from him. He apologized. He told me that they are checking. In just 24 hours or less, I got a call again from him. He said that it is available in some other dealership and they had to fight for it or whatever jazz that they said to the customers. I believe they had this already, but they didn't want to take it from other dealership and wait for the manufacturer, for Bajaj to deliver it to them. Maybe they would get less profit if they take it from other dealerships. I don't know what the reason was, but just 24 hours, guys. I called the Bajaj customer care today and I got the part tomorrow. I got the call from Vinod and I even got an update that the part is available and they're getting it the day after. So within 48 hours, the part was available. They started working on the bike, and the fourth day after I called the Bajaj customer care, I got a call and they said that the bike's ready. That's it. That's what it took. Calling and complaining to Bajaj service center directly. That's what I want you guys also to do if you face any such things in your Bajaj vehicle ownership. These guys are just lazy. I'm really sorry if I'm offending anyone, but I'm really sorry. This is what you guys have done to me, and I'm pretty much vocal about it. So I go to the service center. I paid it, I got the bike. After I had a test run, I went again. I told them that the bike's chain was a bit loose and the acceleration was not that good, and the brakes were also squeaky. So they applied some lubricants and it was pretty fine. That's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to share this thing with you. This is how I crashed my bike and got it repaired. I don't feel good about it, but there was nothing I could have done. So I hope this video has given you some information how much the parts cost and how much the insurance can give you back, and how much of a damage your Dominar can take if you have one and if you are planning to buy one. If you have not yet watched my video where I got my Dominar serviced for the first time, you can see it in the card here or here, somewhere around here. So that was pretty much it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and leave your comments down below. Let me know if you had any such accidents, what your experiences had been with this service center or any other service center. I would be happy to know that I was not the only one who had to suffer because of these dealerships. This video is over. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.